Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm Summer, and I'm sorry we're back in the void this week. I've honestly not had a very good week, but that just gives me an opportunity to show you some other skills. We'll be getting to Self Soothe next week. This skill is one I've created, or at least I believe I have. I've been using it a lot this past week. It is about willingly giving up your memories, and it's helped me as much as the other traditional DBT skills. I call it feeding the void, as the void is ever hungry and willing to accept anything given to it. It is dangerous and helpful just by being itself. Feeding the void is a little more involved than most other skills, but I found it to be super helpful. A question first though. Have you ever been trying to sleep and your mind keeps racing to awkward memories? Because that used to happen to me a lot. I felt like my mind was trying to punish me in some way, but eventually realized that it was just trying to teach me the lessons. I just didn't speak the correct language for it. There are 4 main sections to this mental exercise. 1. Identify. 2. Sort. 3. Extract. And 4. Release. Though this could have a better acronym, and some of the words might change a little bit, and that's okay, as long as those 4 basic steps are there. It also helped me to find a theme for everything. For me, it's an industrial platform with a hole in the center over a black ocean, a railing on 3 sides with a wall on the 4th, a conveyor belt dumping memories into an unloading zone in the bottom left corner, with the rest being storage. The hole is for where I can drop the unwanted boxes into the ocean below, and we'll get to that near the end in step 4. But let's get on to the actual skill. 1. Identify. Realize that you're being bombarded with these memories and mentally go to a place you decide. For me, it is the platform I described just a moment ago. It does take practice as this is more of a mental technique. The first thing you should do is put memories into some kind of vessel. For me, these are cardboard boxes with labels describing what it is, what it's about, when I got it, that sort of thing. And that leads us to step 2. Pick up the representation and ask yourself, do I want to keep this? Do I want this to have domain over me? Does this serve a purpose other than punishment? If you want to keep it, put it on the shelves, or wherever you decide to store it, and move on to the next memory. If that specific one comes up again, go ahead and try and break it down into smaller and smaller, less complex bits. If however you decide you do want to get rid of it, move on to the next step. Step 3, or extract. Divorce yourself from the emotions, and this is the hardest step of them all, because each time you experience your memory, you're also going to be experiencing your feelings. I can turn my feelings off on a dime. I don't know how. I don't know a way to explain it. That's just something that I can do. Also remind yourself that everyone does cringy things from time to time. Those awkward interactions you have with strangers where you're on autopilot, yeah, those are never fun. Also remember, punishing yourself does not serve anyone at all, including yourself. All you're doing is making yourself more miserable. Instead, you're going to grab the lessons you want to learn from it. For example, saying you too to a waiter telling you to enjoy your food. The lesson from that could be that you have to remember not to be on autopilot as much, or remembering to pick your words more carefully, as there can be multiple lessons per memory. And if it's too hard to figure out, put it back on the shelf. Give it time to simmer and time for you to think about it in a different way. Sometimes it might be removed that you were not able to do something with. Other times it can just be that it is very complex and you do need to set it aside. When you have everything from your representation, move on to the next and final step, which to me is the most fun. Step 4. Release. Let go. For me, this means throwing the box to the ocean below and watching as the dark void entity below takes it. You have your lessons learned. Do not hold on to it, as it is only hurting you. For some people, it is shooting off memories as colorful smoke. The biggest thing is that you are willingly giving it up. You can't force yourself to do this, or else it will come back to haunt you. If you find yourself with any hesitation, put it back on the shelf. There might be more lessons that you can extract from it. As you can see, it's not as refined as the other skills. It takes quite a bit of setup and is an ongoing process, processing memories and extracting the underlying lessons. It also doesn't work with larger issues. In my version, they get stuck down the chute, and at that point you have to go in, break it down further, open it, figure out if you can extract anything different, and kind of sort it out in a much more intense process. I've had instances that I want to sit on a memory further, and in some way I wanted to punish myself, that I didn't feel everything I wanted to from it. But eventually that does get tiring after a while, and you do have to process it. Sorry this is a bit lower effort than the other videos. I'm still developing the skill, and I'd actually like to have your feedback on it. I want to say thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or if you've tried it, let me know in the comments. I also want a better acronym, and maybe one day we can develop this enough to be an actual skill in DBT. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, shine big, shine bright, and don't let your spark die out.